What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome to Throwback Thursday. This is a series on my channel that I started as a way to get some use out of the older eyeshadow palettes in my collection. So the way this works is every Sunday I post a bonus video here on my channel. It's just the footage of me going through my entire collection and pulling the 4 palettes that y'all will have to choose from. From there, I post a poll over my community section with the names and pictures of each of the palettes. I give y'all a few days to vote, and that brings us to today. Now, for the entire month of October, we are going to be doing nothing but spooky themed palettes. So today is actually going to kick that off for us. Now, when I was going through and looking at the final numbers on the poll, I was kind of surprised to see what won, because I had it in my head that Haunted from Gourmande Girls was going to win, just because so many of you had said that you really wanted to see a look with that palette, and I really want to play with it too. But ultimately, Strange and Unusual from Bella Beauty Bar won. I'm excited about this. I do really love this palette. I love the theming. I love the color story. This one actually ranked #1 out of all the spooky themed palettes I have in my collection. So we are going to create our look with this one today. I haven't quite decided what direction I want to go in. I think I definitely want to play with these greens, but I'm not sure what else I want to do. But while I think about that, let's go ahead and zoom in, prime my eyes, and get ready to create this look. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into this. I think I've kind of figured out the direction that I want to go. I'm not 100% sure, so it could change as we get into this, but I have primed my eyes with my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly, and I'm going to start with this really pretty, vibrant neon green shade right here. This one is called Recently Deceased, so I am going to pick that up with a BK Beauty 211 brush, and I am going to start out by stamping this in my crease, my inner corner, kind of bringing it over to the outer edge. And then we're going to kind of build off of this shade. Now, since this is a neon, I like to pack the shade on instead of going in with a swiping motion, just because if you start to do that, you can lose the pigmentation of it because it is so white based. They don't blend out very well. So once I have everything down where I want it, I will go back and start to blend out the edges. But I'm really excited that this palette won. Like I said, I really wasn't expecting it. I don't know why. This is a very popular palette, but I'm really happy that I get to create a look with this, because this is actually not only one of my favorite spooky palettes in my collection, but it's also a favorite from Bella Beauty Bar, and it was actually my first palette I ever purchased from the brand. I said this in my ranking of all of my spooky palettes, that this one caught me strictly because of the theming, and I love it. I fell in love with it immediately. The formula in here is really, really good. Now, this is the older formula from Bella Beauty Bar. They have updated it, and the updated version is available on the website, so I will have that one linked down below in the description box, as well as everything else that I use in my videos here on my channel. But I just kind of wanted to put that out there really quick. But I am such a huge Beetlejuice fan. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. I used to watch it all the time, and whenever I saw this palette, I saw the color story, I saw the theming, and I fell in love with it. Now, I think the ones from Melt, the Beetlejuice ones from Melt, actually came out before this one, but I wasn't a fan of the color story in those. They were very dark. They just didn't really speak to me the way that this one did, so that's why I never picked those ones up. But this one is 100% on theme. But look at that green eyeshadow. I absolutely love it. All right, so I'm just taking that same brush and I'm going right along the edge of that shade and just kind of softening everything and blending it out. I don't want to get too carried away though, because like I said, since it's a neon, it will kind of start to fluff away and just disappear on me, and I don't want that to happen. I just don't want a harsh line on my lid. So next I'm going to go into the swampy green shade right here. This one is called Beetlejuice. I'm going to pick that up with my Sigma Kristen Dominique nose and eye contour brush. Yes, that's what it's called. And I am going to start to pack this into my outer corner, building up a little depth and definition, and I'm going to make sure that I really press this into that neon shade. Again, I don't want to do any swiping motions because I don't want to lose the pigmentation of that neon. You can 100% go in with the darker shade and then go back over top of it with the neon. I just kind of prefer this method. It's a little bit easier for me, but I probably will have to go back along the edge with that neon shade to make sure that everything is blended. But this is such a beautiful shade. I really do enjoy this palette. All right, so I'm going back with just a little bit of that neon green shade called Recently Deceased. Same brush, and I am just packing it right along the edge of the Beetlejuice shade that I just put down, just so I can kind of bring back in a little bit of that shade loss that I had. But I am not going to blend or swipe or anything. I just want to kind of pack it on and blend everything together. Next, I want to go into this black and green sequin shade down here. This one is called Atom. So I'm going to pick this one up with my BK Beauty, what is this, a 207 brush. It's just a pencil brush. And I am just going to kind of very lightly pack it right here on my outer corner. I'm not going to go too crazy with this. I just want to add a little bit of depth. Now you may not get a whole lot of that sequin payoff just because I am going into a smaller space, and especially when you start to blend shades like this, that sparkle can kind of go away. But like I was saying, Beetlejuice is one of my favorite movies, like not just spooky themed movies, but from all time. I really loved it my whole life. And so whenever I saw it, they were finally putting Beetlejuice 2 into motion, I was so excited. I could not wait to see what they were going to do with it, where the storyline was going to go, how they were going to, you know, honor the characters, bring them back and things like that. And me and my youngest son actually went and saw it in the theater. We didn't go the day that it came out. We went the day after. I had some things going on and we didn't make it. But I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect going into it. I'm not going to give anything away if you haven't seen it. And if you don't care, I'm not going to, you know, give any spoilers away or anything like that. But I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I didn't know if it was going to be kind of like the same thing as the first one, just with different characters, if it was going to be something completely different. And like I said, I really enjoyed it. The first maybe 30 minutes of the movie or so, I was like, I don't really know about this. I kind of feel like they maybe ruined the movie. And then something happens in the movie, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, that kind of puts everything in motion and really gets the storyline going. So I'm just going back with the same brush that I used for that Beetlejuice shade, and I am just kind of blending everything together and softening out that black so it's not super harsh and it kind of blends into everything. I did get a little carried away over here in this outer corner with that black shade, but it's okay. We can kind of rectify that a little bit. All right, so I'm just taking my little powder puff that I used to powder my under eyes. No extra product or anything. I'm just kind of going right along and cleaning up where I got out of hand. It wasn't fallout or anything like that. I just went in a little heavy-handed and my brush strokes got carried away. But this is what I like to do if I have that issue, because sometimes it can on the lower lash line, especially when you're going in with a darker shade and you just want to add a little bit and it ends up being more than you wanted. You can just 100% go back in and clean it up a little bit. All right, so before we put any sparkle on the lid, I think I want to go in with this shade right here called Witch Doctor. It's this really pretty like red to orange to copper flip to it, and I want to put that on the rest of my lower lash line. So I'm going to pick that up with a Singe Beauty EO4 brush. I am going to spray this with some MAC Fix Plus. You could go ahead and apply a glitter primer under there or whatever you want to do, but since my eyes are really sensitive, they don't do well if I put a glitter primer under there. So I just go in with a brush and just make sure that I spray it really, really good. And then I'm going to start by kind of pressing this along the lower lash line and then swiping as well. I'm not doing back and forth motions. I'm just kind of like tapping and dragging a little bit down here. Ooh, that's pretty. I love that shade. Okay, so my lid is primed with NYX Glitter Primer. For all over the lid, I think I want to do a combination of these two shades right here, these really pretty flippy multi-chromes. But I'm going to go ahead and start with this one right here, which is called Afterlife. It's this really pretty like green to aqua to blue shade. So I'm going to start by putting that one pretty much all over my lid. And for this, I'm actually going to use a brush for that because I want to be a little bit more precise. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up with a BK Beauty 203 brush. I am going to spray it. Even though I have the NYX Glitter Primer all over my lid, I do want to spray it as well just so I don't get any fallout from the brush itself. And then I am going to start to pack this on a majority of my lid. So I'm going to start right here and I'm going to bring it over to my inner corner, but I'm not going to bring it into my inner corner. And I'm going to bring it over to right where that matte shade ends and the blank space of my lid begins. Oh, that is such a beautiful, beautiful shade. I really love the flips in here. I feel like we have a lot of really unique multi-chromes in here. And this was kind of like my first taste of multi-chromes. I didn't really have any in my collection. I was just starting to get into indie brands and things like that. And this really kind of did it for me. Next, we're gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Lost Souls. This one is a really pretty like neon green to yellow to copper flip to it. So I'm gonna pick that up with the same brush. I'm just gonna kind of flip it to the clean side. Again, I am gonna spray this with my MAC Fix Plus, and I'm just gonna put this right where the matte and the shimmer meet, just so I have a little bit of a blend. I mean, you could 100% leave this right here, but I really like the blend of these two shades together. They look beautiful on the lid next to one another. They really complement each other perfectly. Like, look at that. Look at how beautiful. And last, for the inner corner, we're gonna go into this really pretty iridescent shade right here, which is called Sandworm. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that one up with my Singe Beauty EO1 brush, spray it with my MAC Fix Plus, and we're gonna pop this in to my inner corner, blending it up onto the lid and down onto the lower lash line as well. And then I can go ahead and finish up this look. All right, y'all, so this is the final look, and I really love the way this came out. I think this is the first time I've ever actually done like a green and orange color combination with this palette. Usually when I go into it, I'm doing like green or purple and red, or even just an all purple look, but I really love that pop of orange on the lower lash line. I think it is so incredibly beautiful. But I am gonna show you what I used to finish up this look, and then we will turn down the lights, show you all the sparkle, the shift, and all of that, and we will close out this video. So in my lower waterline, I went in with a Martine Cosmetics eyeliner. This is in the shade Orange. I'm not sure if this one is still available or not, but if it is, it will be linked down below. And then I lined my lid with my ZC liquid liner and finished it off with my Catrice Lash Changer Volume Mascara. All right, y'all, so that is going to complete this week's Throwback Thursday video. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did. I had so much fun pulling out this palette and creating this look. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I do plan on creating more content with some of these palettes outside of Throwback Thursday though. I'm thinking shorts, 4 palettes, 4 looks, things like that. I want to try and play with as many of these palettes as I possibly can in October, and we only have 5 Thursdays, so with that I wouldn't be able to get to even half of these palettes. But let me know all of your thoughts down below. If you have a palette suggestion, which one did you vote on this week? What did you think of the look? I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section, and as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. Until my next video, have a good one. Bye.